Okay, want to call the meeting to order and
All right, I call the work session for April 23rd, 2019 to order.
7 o'clock.
we are here this evening because the mayor contacted me a couple, 3 days ago now and said that the more than a majority of the council was interested in having a work session. And so as the advertisement noted, the work session for this evening is regarding section 86-9 water and sewer billing generally, and specifically I think the concern, and it is a part of the code, is under item F, which says, following the assessment of the penalty, the town shall give written notice by mail to the person in whose name the account is listed, that unless all outstanding bills are paid and satisfied in full by the 15th day of the month, the service will be discontinued without further notice and will thereafter be restored only after payment of all arrears, penalties, interest, and other charges. And it was on the basis of that section of the code that when the situation on Madison came to light, we already were aware of it, but obviously it became known in a public kind of way. We have maintained the town's position. I know that there's some that would suggest that we should have some latitude. I believe that my responsibility as the town manager is to make sure that the code is adhered to until the council takes a formal action to change that code. This was put in the code at least as far back as 2011. It may go back further than that, but that's the last rewrite. And we do have quite a bit of information that we can provide to the council if you all are interested, or if you want to have the discussion, Mr. Mayor, and then we can try to respond. We have, or Angela actually contacted a number of communities and determined what their policies were. And you'll see at the very top, just in case you're not familiar with the town's policies, you'll see those policies that are in the code for the town, and then you'll read down and see for a lot of small jurisdictions as well as some larger jurisdictions what their policies are. And I would say the sum total is that our policy is more lenient than a number of these localities, both in terms of when the late payment is finally triggering a discontinuance of the service. As an example, the code reads the 15th of the month. We actually do it on the third Monday of each month. So yesterday was the cutoff, so it was actually the 22nd of the month. But you can read down and see that in every case, the outstanding amount is due, total is due before reinstatement, and then there are some additional fees and penalties depending on the locality that are also assessed that have to be paid before the service is reinstated.
I just have a couple questions. Why was not council notified until I read about it on the journal, A? And B, why would a water bill reach $500? I mean, $5,000. 500 is nothing. $5,000. Those are the two questions I would have.
Well, first of all, we don't notify the council about any person's water or utility bill.
Well, we're the face, though. We're the ones that have to respond to the publicity.
Well, let me finish what I was saying, and then I'd be happy to respond to that. Our responsibility as your staff is to uniformly and consistently apply the code. This is not the first person who has had a large bill who has been disconnected. It may be the largest bill, but we have had significant bills in the past. We have never bothered to advise the council because unless the council wants to change the policy, which would require formal council action, a council member calling and telling me that they think we should do something different, I'm not in a position to do that. My responsibility is adhere to the code. The reason that you were advised was that it did become a very public matter because the individual...
We'd already been provided, I had already seen it on the journal.
All right, well, all I'm saying...
And we were advised.
Yeah, as soon as we realized that it was going to become a public matter and not just an exchange of information between the resident and the town, we sent you the information at the same time that we responded to the request from the Allegheny Journal. If there was something on the journal prior to that, I'm not aware of that. But as soon as we got the request, I think Mr. Clark will tell you that we would not honor his request for information until the client called us, gave us permission to share this information, because that's not something we would routinely share with anyone. So that's why you weren't advised prior to that time. We typically, how many people do we routinely turn off on a given month?
We cut off 20 yesterday, that's probably a little low.
That's what I was going to ask you. Somewhere around
20 to 30.
35.
Each month. And I will tell you that oftentimes a number of those, at least, a third, are repeats.
Oh, yes.
And they end up going to churches and other individuals and get social services, a church or two, other individuals to pay it or to guarantee a payment. We have had today 2 instances where someone is misusing our water system, has turned the water back on when it's been turned off for failure to pay. I think we've told you all previously that we have taken a couple of those to court. I believe Leanna was in court today on one of those where the individual pled guilty for turning on the water when it had been turned off for non-payment. So it's an interesting situation, because if we were the gas company, if we were the electric company, if we were cable TV, other utilities, there would be no question about the authority to turn off. Because we are managed and operated locally, many people feel like the town should just take care of it. I mean, there were people on Facebook pages who suggested that the town should go repair the private line on a piece of private property, which is strictly prohibited. Other people have said water is free because it falls onto the earth and we should be giving water away. I mean, we've heard a little bit of everything. As I think everyone knows, a GoFundMe account was open. We're not sure how that actually operates in terms of how that money eventually comes to the town, if it comes to the town, or if it goes directly to the individual in which the name of the GoFundMe account is. We have received, as the town, $2,120 directly into the account. So we have a balance now that's different than that original amount.
You know the balance now?
Yes.
Dave, I want to ask you before I get started. Should we state a name, this person's name, or should we say he, she?
I wouldn't mention the person's name.
Wouldn't put that
But I
way.
think they've given permission, possibly. And if they've given permission, then it would be okay, but there's no reason to mention the name.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Just
I
say
just-
the person.
And I think
Generally
that
speaking,
permission was very broad and actually said to anybody who was interested or something like that. But we have not done that except, where we've had the official.
Well, I'll try not to, but
So the current balance after the payments that we have received is $2,120.77.
That is outrageously ridiculous to me for a water bill to get to $5,000.
Well, the question
Y'all
is, how
can
did they
look
get
at
to
me.
5,000? Are
Right.
we talking about
Yeah.
2-3 months
Yeah,
of
what are we
it
talking
leaking
about?
and accumulating? Yeah.
So
I asked Darlene for and I guess they got it for the last 3 water bills for this account. And I guess we got it to show you.
All right, so
Now,
this thing says not paid by the third Monday of the month following. What happened with that?
That's what we did. So the bill was,
$5,000 in
Yes.
a month?
No. Okay,
3
so
months.
basically,
Month
yes.
following, okay.
You said 3
But you're already into the third billing cycle by then. So in December, on the December 19th reading, the usage was 83,080 gallons. I did have Public Works go back to check and make sure the read was correct. They indicated a leak and they advised the male resident of the house that there was a leak. On January 21st, the meter read indicated a usage of 266,720 gallons.
Excuse me, I'm gonna interrupt. December was the first month of the payment? I mean, that was the first
That was the first
billing
high bill.
cycle?
That was the first high bill, yes.
Oh.
83,000 gallons.
Yes.
Okay.
So the next month, it was 266,720 gallons. Public Works again visited the house. The water was leaking. The resident advised that he did not want the water cut off because she was due to have a baby soon. The town had noted on their paperwork that they sent to me that they had advised the resident the previous month there was a leak. The town employee actually showed them, pointed to them where the leak was in the yard on their side of the meter. So the bill for, the December bill was $1,038.72. The bill for January was $3,543.80. On February 6th, the water was cut off for repairs. So they're already into a billing cycle then. The meter reading on February 21st indicated 140,580 gallons that had flowed through the meter from the January 21st read to the February 21st read. So that bill was another $1,805. Those 3 bills, including the penalties for late payment, less $110 payment that was made in February, totaled $5,277.52. They applied for a leak adjustment, and we gave them a leak credit of $2,549.55. And that can be given just once in a 12-month period.
and according to our policy, we don't have to give the sewer credit, which is what they got, because we knew that the water was going in the ground. According to the policy, if you look at it, it says if they have been advised and don't make the repair, we don't have to give the sewer credit. But we gave the sewer credit on this one, which reduced it by that $2,500.
Did the public works person say that you could see standing water on the ground?
I don't know what he said. I know he did point out to them where he needed to dig at, though.
Well, that's the only way he would know.
And I will say that we had 3 different Public Works guys go to the residents and advise them there was a leak.
When I talked to one of the individuals that's involved, he told me that Public Works did show him where the leak was at, but he could not fix it because of the baby on the way, right then.
And the ground was frozen, or something about the ground was
It must have been a pretty good
frozen
leak.
on the Facebook. But when the bill got to be $1,000, it was posted on the Journal.
I never saw that.
She asked someone down here, and they said it was probably an error
That's
to
not,
disregard it.
No, ma'am, that is not correct. No one down in my office said that to
How
her.
do you know?
Because I've spoken to my staff. That is not how we handle a bill. If they come in with a high bill, especially if they believe there's a leak, we will send Public Works immediately out to reread the bill, reread the meter to make sure we have a correct meter reading. We actually go through the billing register when we initially load up the meter reads and look to see what's high and what we need to go back out and look at. So my staff did not advise her that that was a mistake.
But
The fact that the staff
But
went
your
out there
knowledge, to your
proves
Well,
that
that's what they told
nobody
me.
would have said it's an error.
But to
I don't.
that point,
Somebody.
Pam, to that point,
Somebody.
if we said,
Right.
and we say we did not, if we said it was an error, we would immediately do a corrected bill and send that bill out. We wouldn't just say to somebody, ignore a bill.
Because it's already in the system at that
Right.
point.
And
Somebody
If
would
there
have
were
to
an
do a
error.
credit in the system to fix it.
and throw it away. That's the way it was
Well, even if
stated.
she threw it away, we would have to do a credit in the system to fix it. It's not gonna just
But I'm saying
disappear.
your financial department would never say, it's a mistake, throw it away.
No, not without taking information down, to either send them back out to read it, to check for the leak. We do that multiple times every single month. This is not a rare occasion.